slowly, but it should not take more power. Like I build one Verilog code, then synthesize, then generate Verilog verification, logic verification, RTL coding. First we need to do the RTL coding, verification, synthesis. Finally, APR is backend. Front end also, college you need to do everything by yourself. Like RTL coding, verification, synthesis to gate level netlist. Once you get the gate level netlist, then you go with the backend flow of placement and routing power up. So I know the complete flow. I have very confident APR and other I can do in 10 to 15 days maximum. If anyhow I work very hard, so I can work on Saturday, Sunday. Maybe after 10 days I can become as good as any APR engineer. Maybe 10, 15 days.
So can you explain more about the APR part?
Yes, sir.
Your experience.
My experience is like as you say, APR is first of all yes. Are you recording?
Yes.
Sir, maybe then I can prepare well, sir. No, I am talking to you very easy.
No. It's just a freestyle.
Huh?
I just wanted to send this video to Frank.
No, sir.
No problem. No
sir.
problem.
No, next time.
You
sir.
are so
No,
good.
No,
But
sir,
you-
it's not polite way.
Yeah.
Maybe no. If you are recording, maybe next time I can prepare more. More appropriate. Sentence by sentence. Now we are almost like.
That's why now you can explain the margin. You just told me about the timing margin.
Yeah, setup time margin and hold time margin.
Yeah.
So setup time margin is normally impacted by the clock jitter.
Yes.
So you need to take into the clock jitter. Now the concept is which clock jitter. If you are into the analog design, clock has multiple jitters. Cycle jitter, cycle to cycle jitter also called period jitter. Cycle to cycle jitter, which is peak to peak value, which will impact the setup time. So random jitter, clock has multiple jitters. As an analog designer, when we design the PLL, we will tell the clock generation is PLL, or we will tell this is the random jitter, this is the period jitter, this is the cycle to cycle jitter. The cycle to cycle jitter will impact the setup time. So as a layman, you should not concern about the random jitter. Random jitter doesn't solve your setup time. Okay, now you know the cycle to cycle jitter is impacting your setup time. You want to solve. So first you will check the skew, clock skew, whether it is positive skew or negative skew. You understand positive skew or negative skew. Clock and firing clock on the edge clock. Positive skew and negative skew. Depending on the positive skew, you can put the more clock buffers to solve the setup time. But you will ask me, if you put more buffers, does it violation of the whole time? Because you are solving the setup time, maybe you will violate the whole time. But the interesting thing is, setup time and whole time don't happen at the same PVT. The setup time PVT, worst case PVT, and the whole time worst case PVT are different. So you have some chance. That means even if you put clock buffers, if you solve the setup time, still you have a chance that your whole time may not fail at this, because these two are not at the same PVT. The logic delay, all these depends on the PVT. So they don't happen at same PVT. You have some margin. But in case if after putting in the clock buffers also, if you don't solve your setup time, still you have an option to go with the multi-clock cycle. But yes, you don't do because it will increase your delay. Multi-clock cycle, there is one more detailed analysis to do the multi-clock cycling. You can do the multiple clock. Like if you fire one clock, within this one clock you are not able to solve your setup time, then you can do the 2 clock periods, like one dummy clock gating. You can do some clock gating. After 2 clock gate, you can pass your setup time. So basically this is the setup time flow. Timing IREM.
You just talked about the static. I just asked you the question: static and dynamic impact on the margin, timing margin.
Timing margin. You are right, sir. First of all, timing margin, as you say, we give the guarantee about PVT, and then we say the Monte Carlo, not Monte Carlo, OCV, OCV on chip variation. We do take consider into the OCV, then advanced AOCV or parametric OCV. I think recently Cadence has 3 options: OCV, advanced OCV, parametric OCV, on chip variations. You can include these. And now your question is, if your VDD after IREM, let us say static IREM, your margin is your VDD drop is 5% in the IREM. If you can pass your IREM average. IREM has again 3 different options. IREM average, RMS value, peak to peak value. Because if you see some circuits, average value is easy to pass. IREM average specs is very easy to pass. Average currents and average IREM is very easy to pass. But if you see peak to peak IREM, it's more difficult to pass peak to peak IREM specs. As an analog designer also, normally we know average, it's very easy to pass. But the most challenging is passing the peak to peak IREM. If you can pass peak to peak IREM, you don't need to check average. It's obviously passed. Okay. Now let us say, come back to your question. If your average IREM, your VDD is dropped by 5%, then you will come back to timing, because you will come back to your timing, then you will check 10% VDD low. If you can pass your margin at 10%, still you have a 5% margin of VDD to pass your timing at worst case, including the IREM. Yes, you are including the IREM, still you can pass by giving the margin into the lower VDD min. So this you can solve. This is one thing. IREM you solve. Then VDD, IREM drop, power mass. What else you can do? What else you can do? Sir, can you ask me a question? When I'm thinking how to explain.
Okay, so if we have how to design how many dynamic air drop and how many static air drop, and of course the dynamic air drop and the static air drop will impact the timing margin, right? Do you know how to optimize? Or what factor you need to consider in one chip tape out project? Because the final goal, we wanted to optimize the performance, right?
Yes.
But we have a dynamic static air drop. But the final goal is optimal performance and how to design the static and dynamic air drop first, and then how to calculate the timing margin.
Okay. So yes, same problem. If you start from the IR drop minimization,
Yes.
as you say, the block which is average IR or the dynamic, if you can place your power rail pins,
Yes.
let us say while placing, I'm solving from the top level. When
Yes.
you place your macro, let us say this is the block which
Yes.
will take more current, then
Yes.
more IR drop. It's obvious.
Yes.
Then first thing you start with top metals. Now first thing where you plan your power mass.
Yes.
Power mass, top metal layers, lower resistance. Yes, you can have a more current. You can solve
Yes.
the IR first systematic way. Second
Yes.
way, okay, you already solve your metal placement. Your power mass is done. Now second option is, can you place your decoupling cap, decap, close to the block which is consuming more current? So if you can place your decap. You
But,
understand, sir? Decoupling
yes,
cap.
yeah,
If you
I
can
know.
place near to the block which is consuming huge current, so
Yes.
you can reduce your dynamic drop because your cap is very close. So you understand, if you want to, okay, now your concept of LDO comes, like if you are designing the low dropout regulator,
Yes.
you put the decoupling cap, so that
Yes.
because if the LDO
Yes.
is not responding, cap
Yes.
can supply.
Yes.
So you try to put the decap as
Yes.
close to as this, but
Yes.
now you will ask Ranga, when you put the decap, you are increasing the area.
Yes.
Your area is not optimized.
Yes.
Then you will ask me, Ranga, if you put the decap, what about the leakage power? Does
Okay.
the decap will leak?
Yes,
Your
very good,
leakage
very
power
good.
will increase. Yes.
Yes,
So
very
all
good.
these are
Very good. Yeah.
all these are compromised.
Yeah,
Yes.
very
You
good.
can solve your IREM by
Yes,
doing all
Ranga,
these,
very
but
good.
the compromise is area and the leakage. Yes.
Yes, very good.
Placement.
Yeah,
Oh,
you are
so-
totally right.
So now your idea will come. Where do you want to optimize? Do you want to solve the
Yes.
metal routing placement?
Yes.
Good. Or do you want to place your LDO close to this block
Yes.
to solve this? Because LDO you can supply same
Ranga,
LDO
your
supply in
answer
different.
is,
This is
excellent.
one more
Very
option. Decap is one more option. Then finally, in analog design we have some more option. We try to make some blocks not switching. We try to keep constant, make sure average current is constant. Some design technique which average current is constant, so
Yes.
that suddenly there is not too much of switching.
Yes.
Like even in the, I don't know about exactly digital,
Yes.
clock gating. When you do
Yeah.
the clock gating, if you turn on suddenly, then huge peak current will come. Even SRAM, all the things. There are some specs.
Yes,
Even
yes.
SRAM, when
Yes.
you start, you
Yes.
always give what is your peak current. Peak current.
Yes.
Because if you have suddenly wake up,
Yes.
let us say your,
Yes.
your
Yes.
digital logic
Your
is in the
total
standby.
troop
Yes.
is terrible.
Yes, yes. Your
Yeah.
digital logic in the standby mode. There is
Yes.
no clock. Everything is ideal. Suddenly you turn on. There is a huge current because sudden wake up. Whenever you wake up, there is a huge current.
Yes.
You suddenly peak
I
current.
know,
We
I
call
know.
this is peak current specs. So
Yes.
this will cause peak switching also. Normally we always follow some okay. This is the maximum metal routing and the cap. So depending on all these budgets, we will define. Oh, you should only consume this much peak current. Now you will ask me, how do you minimize the peak current? Like SRAM, how do you do? Now the good technique is circuit point of view. Let us say you have so much big block, you don't want to turn on at a time. Let
Yes.
us say if you turn on at a time, all the block will sink suddenly
Yes.
current, peak current. So what you do is you turn on sequentially, time by time.
Yes.
Let us say you want to turn on a complete system in 1 microsecond.
Yes.
First 100 nanoseconds you turn on this. So then one more others you don't turn on. You turn on sequentially. You turn on 100 nanoseconds, then you turn on this, you turn on this, you turn on this. So you will turn on sequentially. So peak comes again drop because you
Okay,
did
okay.
not turn
Venka.
on. So your
Yeah.
peak current actually I did
Okay.
this logic in SRAM and
Okay,
7.
I just ask you one question. Okay. My feeling is that, and you just check if this is okay or not.
Okay.
For dynamic airdrop, basically we don't need to take care
Okay.
because dynamic airdrop we can use decap or regulator to handle it.
Okay.
So because we have so many methodology, we can handle with dynamic airdrop.
Okay.
Just put the decap as close to the cell or
Standard cell
or the SRAM.
Yes,
So for dynamic airdrop we can fix.
Yes, yes.
Just has some extra cost.
Yeah.
But for static airdrop, it's very hard to fix
Okay.
because the resistance.
Yeah.
You have
Metal
your
resistance,
your airdrop.
Yes, yes, yes.
You will have your power
Power
with
metal.
the resistance.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it's very hard to
Yes,
fix.
yes, yes, yes.
So we just need to focus on static
Okay.
airdrop.
Okay.
So for dynamic and static airdrop,
Okay.
it just for dynamic airdrop, we just verify
Okay.
if any exception
Yes.
for timing sign off.
Okay. Sure.
And for static, it,
fix.
it we need to fix
Yes, yes. Sure.
to minimize it.
Yes.
So for timing margin,
Okay.
how we calculate these two parameters into timing margin?
These two phenomena. Oh.
Because
static
we
is
cannot.
very easy because you just
Yes.
change VDD to minimum. Let
Yes.
us say VDD, your drop is 10%.
Yes.
In the PVT, check the 10%
Static
minimum.
is very easy to calculate, right?
Yes, because
But,
you can change the VDD minimum
but,
VDD and run the same
dynamic
PVT.
airdrop we can fix, right? But
Okay.
how to design the extra
Margin?
value margins for dynamic? Because even we can fix them, but still has some risky.
Okay.
So how to cover? Does we have any theoretical measure? For example, static is very easy, right?
Yes, sir.
Dynamic we can fix, but how many sigma or something, we need to have the theoretical equation for this part, and then we design the dynamic one, the timing margin, and for the process corner, we have so many process corner, right?
Front end or back end?
And how to consider the process corner into
Back end.
the
RC works?
yes RCOs,
Okay.
and how to calculate those process corner in your sign of part, and translate them into sigma theoretical format into the margin. This is more hard, okay. But do you have a concept about this one?
Maybe I need to think, sir. I need to think.
Yeah, this is just a random testing. You know. Don't take care about it. Yeah.
Normally, when we check the IREM,
Yes.
we choose back end corner, not only front end corner.
Yes.
Back end corner means RC corner, RC
Yes.
worst, RC worst.
Yes.
RC worst, your R is very high, so
Yes.
your EM is IR is drop is more.
Yes.
Then we choose RC worst as a back
Yes.
end corner, and we
Yes.
choose FF, MOS corner as
Yes.
fast because fast more current. R is more, I is more, R is more. I
So,
into
so
R is
you
more.
you
Yes.
you
MOS
choose
corner is FF.
the fattest one, FF one.
Fast corner,
And
more
the
current.
line?
And the back end, metal corner is RC worst.
Yes.
So your R is more, I is more, I into R is more.
Yes.
So your IR drop is the worst case.
Yes.
So we check this one.
Yes.
Okay, this is the one thing we check. Now,
Yes.
your question is, there is one thing called she. She
Yes.
means self-heating.
Yes.
Self-heating.
Yes.
Because of this self-heating, the VTH, all these will degrade.
Yes.
So how do we do means, the concept is, let us say we want to pass finally our 125 degrees as a final PVT. But when we run the she self-heating check, all the devices will generate the self-heating. Let us say we give the margin 10%, like 10
Yes.
degrees.
Yes.
It means if I run at 125 degrees, my device is generated heating and its internal temperature is changed to 135 degrees.
Yes.
Now what I do is, okay, I cannot fix, I fix the she less than 10 degrees, okay. Now still my device is rise to 10 degrees. Now what I do, I come back to PVT, I check my PVT. Last time without self-heating, I pass my PVT at 125 degrees temperature. Now with self-heating, I should pass all my timings at 135 degrees because this 10 degrees in my PVT is take care of your self-heating. Okay, is it clear, sir? Let us say you have a self-heating. Okay, you cannot make your self-heating to 0 because